Well, good afternoon, all you sick, twisted freaks. Welcome to the Midday News. Ish. I am your host, Montana Free. And I am one confused puppy. I was trying to read the news today. I was really trying. I hung out over at Radon Antifas for a little while, got even more pissed off. Here I be with junk food by my side. Well, there you go. There you go. Smile and Moo, thank you very much for dropping the parental advisory. Because this one ain't going to get much better. Empress, good to see you out there. And for everyone else who's lurking, welcome. You have no idea what kind of shitstorm you stepped into. And I apologize ahead of time. So the best I can tell, the United States is sick. And I'm not for sure it's not a terminal illness yet. I haven't decided. And I don't know if you've decided yet either. But as I look out at my snow-covered riverfront, and I read the news about how, well, I guess natural gas is going to not be a thing anymore. Coal-fired power plants aren't a thing anymore. You got solar and wind. It's been cloudy for 3 fucking days here. And the wind blew so hard that they actually shut the wind turbines down here in Montana. Because, oh yeah, they can't take a real hard wind. And I wonder to myself, just what the fuck am I going to do when they can't make green energy? So as I'm rolling through all this shit in my head, and I'm contemplating if there's any I've come to the decision that there's no logic left in the federal government, but I don't know if there's any logic left in the majority of the nation. Then I go to fill my diesel up. Granted, diesel's always been more expensive than gasoline. Up here, anyway. I need 55 gallons to fill my tank. Used to run me a little less than $100. Alright. I had a $50 bill on me. I thought, I'll just put $50 in. Because I want to treat it anyway and put number 1 in too. Just because motherfucking nature is evidently not done with winter yet. Climate change. My lily fucking white ass. $50 didn't even get me a fucking third of a tank. But don't worry, they have electric vehicles coming out soon, and I won't have to spend that ungodly amount of money. Oh, wait. I don't have electricity to charge the motherfucker. And I live in a cold climate, so the battery life on them is about half. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna work out well. And then I get to hear about more farmers and more ranchers going out of business. And how food prices are on the rise. Production's on the downswing. And we just can't figure out how the fuck that happened. Just don't know. Had a football coach that used to tell me that it would be PFM. You know what PFM stands for? It's just pure fucking magic. And I think that's how 90% of this country is ran anymore. Just on pure fucking magic. We don't know how things happen. We don't know why things happen. We just know they fucking happen. And we know it cuts a chunk out of us about every time it does happen. Biden, in his infinite wisdom, decided to sign some more gun legislation on his own. I guess you really can't call it legislation when it's an executive fucking order. He signed it for enhanced background checks. I don't know what the fuck that is. Because somehow we've gotten to believe in this country that you can go buy a gun like buying a fucking roll of Lifesavers and you don't have to have a background check. I can tell you I've had a background check on every fucking one I bought, but I don't know. Like I said, pure fucking magic. He also wanted to increase the ability of red flag laws. Tell you what, if you live in a state where they passed fucking red flag laws for you, get the fuck out of that state. Or just don't ever plan on owning a gun. I'm done telling people to stay in their states and, well, you gotta stay there and you gotta fight for what's yours. No, they've already took what's yours. They stole it a long time ago. You're fucked. Get out. Go somewhere where you're actually appreciated. I grew up in South Dakota, eastern South Dakota. Right next door to Minnesota. Minnesota, for the most part, was a conservative state. Tell me what the fuck happened now? You've lost the battle. Retreat to stay in the war. Little warning to my fellow Montanans, be aware of the people that are moving into your state. You run a high risk of becoming the next Texas. And I know I'm going to piss off everybody from Texas. But you know what? Your state has been slowly turning purple for years now. I don't want to hear it. You're on the cusp. Fight for what you have. Or just get the fuck out, because Texas won't be Texas. These son of a bitches have the sleaziest, underhanded way of fighting the fight. And they also have really fucking deep pocketbooks backing them up. And they got people in positions of fucking power that don't necessarily have to be elected. And they're coming for your fucking kids. And your grandkids. On all fronts. I can almost guarantee you that most kids on a daily basis question themselves whether they're racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, every other kind of fucking phobic that you can think of. And now they're grooming your kids. And you know what the sad part is? You know what the really fucking sad part is? Half of the conservative families in the world, I can guarantee you, or in this country, I can guarantee you, don't have any idea what's going on. None at all. Why? Because they live in the best state in the union, in the bastion of conservative ship. And their officials would never do that to them. George Carlin said it best. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Think about this. In the next year, I'm going to make a few predictions, and I'm not really a predictive kind of person. In the next year, you're going to see extremely expensive and unreliable energy for your household. You might not be able to afford to keep your thermostat at 60. Especially if you have one of those horrible gas forced air furnaces. You probably are not going to see a gas cook stove at your local Home Depot for sale by the end of this year. They're now going after washing machines because there's not enough water. And we need them to use less. There's a transgender piece of shit on TikTok and he's literally going after kids He says so in his TikToks. Finally, someone stood up against him, and she has since been doxxed online, and she's had her kids threatened. You want to read? You want to hear about this story? You want to hear what kind of shitbags there are in this world? You want to know why I shiver and am angry every time my wife leaves this house without me? Or my son goes to school? It's because of shitbags like this guy. And I'm going to say guy, because he's a fucking guy. There isn't it? Well, that's a stretch. He's a male, what used to be human. There you go. Piece of shit on the left. Mother and woman who stood up to him on the right. We'll watch the video where she talks about what this piece of shit is doing. And she's got the sauce, trust me. Brave mom terrified begs woke mob not to hurt her children after receiving threats for exposing popular transgender grooming messages directed at troubled kids. Popular social media figure Samran Nusa, good girl, has been doxxed and her kids have been threatened after she created a video calling out TikTok Jeffrey Marsh. Piece of shit. For being a groomer. And I'll tell you what, you woke motherfuckers, because I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch right now. Any one of you pieces of shit out there, and you are a piece of shit and you know it. You threaten my kid? That'll be the last bit of energy you get to expel. "100% Fed Up" reports Jeffrey Marsh, a transgender social media influencer, posted a lot of inappropriate videos, encouraging children to join his Patreon so he can chat privately with them. Many of his videos are aimed directly at children, specifically those who don't have a good relationship with their families. Nessa made a video questioning the appropriateness of Marsh targeting kids and trying to get a private audience with them on his social media. After receiving backlash for the video and being called transphobic, Nessa made a follow-up video in which she doubled down on her initial complaints about Marsh's content and carefully went over the definition of groomer and explained why he fits the description. She highlighted a video of Marsh's addressing his young audience saying, "Your parents screwed up," and then invited them to join his Patreon so they can talk to him about their problems in a place that's more private. All she asked was, why do you want to talk to these particular kids? She also pointed out how Marsh has videos on his Patreon teaching kids to go no contact. With their parents, as well as videos about sex. Shortly after posting this on TikTok, Nessa was attacked by the woke mob, both online and in person. Oh, I'm daring you, Billy. I'm overweight, out of shape, and fucking getting older. I don't fight fair. Experiencing vandalism to her car and receiving threats directed at herself and her children. Nessa shared a tearful video on her account about these threats, apologizing for her comments. Don't apologize to these motherfuckers at all. And begging the woke activists to leave her and her family alone. So I just got an email saying, pretty much a threat, saying they know where I live, Nessa said. She continued, sharing a chilling detail about the threatening email. They've got my daughter's details on the email. Like what time I leave to drop them off to school, pick them up, and it's not a coincidence because both of my daughters, they go to 2 different schools, so they know. They've given the school details and everything. She also mentioned that her car had been vandalized in retaliation for her comments about Marsh. I'm not going to talk about Jeffrey Marsh, Nessa assured those who are coming after her. Right here, motherfuckers. Come on. I dare ya. I've deleted everything and removed it. Please don't come at me. Don't come to my house. Don't do anything with me, Nessa tearfully pled. I'm sorry. Please don't come for my kids. I would recommend not coming for my kids. My kid. Or any kid for that matter. Alright. So we're going to watch this piece of shit. And her video. And somebody who lives near this woman needs to stick up for her. Here we go.
Stop telling trans people that we're inspirational.
Stop telling kids to go on your Patreon and chat to you privately without their parents knowing.
And then a lot of people made stitches of me saying I'm transphobic, I've done a lot of bad stuff, they've even attacked my scarf, my religion, a lot of bad stuff, which I don't want to go into. And these people have also said they are not talking to the kids. Okay, so I did a little bit of digging.
Hi, kids. Hey, kids. I want to talk to the kids. Hi, kids. Hey, kids.
So yeah, there's a lot of videos of them addressing kids. Now, the main video I want to talk about.
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon.
So you want to talk to kids whose parents have screwed up? Why? Why you want to talk to these particular kids? Why?
That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy, so that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this. I think you're worthy. And
so you want to talk to kids on a social media platform privately about topics that cannot be talked about in the video of TikTok's comments sections. Because why? Why you want to do that? Why you can't chat about these topics in these comments? Is it because he might get flagged or something? What could be the reason? Could this be one of the reasons? Going no contact with the kids' parents? Because you say in one of your videos how kids can go no contact with their parents. So you teach kids how to go no contact with their parents? Is that what you're teaching them on Patreon? Or is it this? You're teaching this more on, because this video might get flagged. That's why I don't want to say the word. And this is Jeffrey Marsh's Patreon. You talk about this topic with kids. Now here are just some of the signs of grooming. Literally one of the first ones. Gaining access and isolating the victim. Asking them privately to go on Patreon and talking to them privately so you can connect. And then showing these kids that you trust them, you love them, you'll keep their secrets and to keep them isolated from their parents. And then the icing on the cake is this video.
Hi, beautiful. If you do not have a family that loves you, I'm going to be your family.
No, you can't. You are a stranger on the internet. You are not their family. Oh, and another thing. You can turn off age restrictions on Patreon. So kids can go to Jeffrey Marsh's, their Patreon.
Stop telling trans people that we're inspirational.
So tell me that ain't fucking sick. Get your kids off the internet. Get them off. I don't give a shit if it's a Amazon Fire tablet that was actually built for them. Age appropriate. Get them off the internet. Because you have creepy motherfuckers out there like this piece of shit. That goes after kids. Blatantly goes after kids. And the providers obviously don't fucking care. Whether it's TikTok or Patreon. I've seen it in my own house. Bought my son an Amazon tablet. I did raid. I don't want to show it because I'm just going to get more pissed. But get them offline. Get them the fuck offline. My son literally became addicted to his tablet in the course of a couple of weeks. And then I started catching some woke ideology in the videos that were on. This. Why do you think I skipped over it? This video that was on his tablet that Amazon, Disney, and PBS all agreed that this was good stuff for kids to learn. And I'm sitting here listening to it. They made Gonzo. You remember Gonzo? Yeah, the hook-nosed fucking weird alien on the Muppets. They made him fucking transgender. My son is sitting here watching an episode of Muppet Babies. And I'm hearing this. And I look over at him, and he has the most confused look on his face. And you can see he's trying to put it together. And at 5 years old, I'm having to explain to him just what the fuck he watched on his age-appropriate, quote-unquote, tablet that I made the mistake of buying for him. Get your kids offline. Get them the fuck offline. You know what? I don't care if the internet burns to the fucking ground in the next year. I don't care. I don't care. I want this shit over. I'm tired of sick motherfuckers like that piece of shit being able to reach out to as many kids as he can get his hands on. Be the bad guy. Don't worry about being their fucking friend. Be their parent. You got sick, twisted freaks like this motherfucker right here. Sorry, this motherfucker right here. That gets invited to the White House because of their strength. I guess you're right. It does take a lot of strength to cut your dick into 3 strips and shove it into your fucking body so you can call yourself a woman. sick in the fucking head. Oh yeah, I saw that too. They made fucking Velma a fucking lesbian now, and she's got a crush on the bad chick in the new fucking Scooby-Doo. Fucking serious. Then you got shit like this going on. Oh, isn't that nice? Look at all these sick motherfucking parents sitting around this thing thinking this is wonderful and making these kids watch it. Not only the sick fucks that are performing. Look at this shit. Here, I'll make it bigger. Where the fuck are the fathers? Do you notice something odd about this? Watch the fucking crowd again and tell me how many guys you see at this fucking thing. What more proof do you need that America is fucking sick in the head? They're probably at work. Yeah. You want to talk about our military? Should we talk about that? Our fighting force? You don't think these motherfuckers are ruining everything? Or trying to ruin everything? There you go. Here's one for you. Air Force hiring multiple DEI officials to build world class. Not a world class killer. No. World class equity and inclusion program. Gratness, if you're out there listening, I'm so sorry that they used a picture of the Thunderbirds for that. The United States Air Force is seeking to hire multiple senior-level diversity, equity, and inclusion managers in various posts across the nation to develop a world-class DEI program. While the Air Force declines to comment on how many DEI officials it is looking to hire, according to the Fox News Digital, since March began, it has published job postings for 4 senior DEI-related positions. Each position, that I guarantee it won't be a white cis fucking male, each position guarantees a salary of at least $8,200 or $82,000 and more. the Pentagon is offering the highest paid position at more than $180,000 a year. In Arlington, Virginia, the Air Force is seeking to hire a DEI official who would act as the first-level supervisor in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Ooh. I don't... We are the laughing stock of the fucking world, and we did it to ourselves. That's the part that pisses me off the most. We did this to our fucking selves. Because when we should have stood up and we should have stopped this shit, we didn't. Want to know why we didn't? Because we thought it was too fucking crazy and it would never catch on. Well, guess what, motherfucker? It's here. This is daily fucking life now. This is what the rest of our history looks like. This is what our generation will be remembered for. Isn't that fucking great? My grandfather fought in fucking World War II. His generation was actually something to be proud of. This motherfucker that we've created is a shitstorm that is going to be unleashed on the fucking world. And I said it before and I'll say it again. We're going to make the Nazis look like a fucking daycare. If you try to stand up, they put you in jail. Or they blackball you. Or they ruin your fucking life. They take away your kids. And for some unknown fucking reason, there's a large group of people in this country that think that that's the right thing to do. I'm done attempting to bring common sense to the people that won't fucking have it. I'm done trying to get people on my side. To red pill people. If you came to this channel for that, well, you came for the wrong reasons. If you think I'm insensitive, you are goddamn right I am. My sensitivity left when you threatened my family with your woke fucking ideology that you are shoving down people's throats because you think you're some kind of fucking god. I don't owe a fucking dime to the woke society. I will not kneel before you. And if you think that there's not people out there that wouldn't kneel before these motherfuckers, Raid, you asked for it. You asked for it, buddy. Well, let's just talk about Drew fucking Barrymore. Shall we? Let's just fucking check this out here. There you go.
I'm so happy to meet you. I am so.
By the way, this is the piece of shit that made it to the White House.
To meet you. I really am. This is, it's very personal for me in a world where we're all trying to figure out who we're supposed to be, the risk,
yes,
the bravery.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea how vulnerable I was even willing to get. And honestly, that day one video that I made, it was kind of supposed to be a comedy video because I think coming outs can be so intense. And, you know, I kind of wanted to add some humor. I think that we can all learn through comedy. I think you can relate.
It's my lifeline.
Now, I do think that there was so much that came up this year that I had no idea that I was going to have to figure out in womanhood and vulnerable things that I didn't even know were there.
Well, let me ask you, is it true that Laverne Cox, you met her, but what she said to you wasn't what I thought she was going to say to you? What was it?
She said to keep some things private for myself. And I couldn't agree more in the way that there were a few moments this year where I was like, was I actually ready to say that? But now, since meeting her and having that moment, I go, okay, what would Laverne do? And I actually have stopped myself from making a few videos to make sure that I was actually ready to talk about those things.
And how does it feel? You know, has that wisdom guided you in ways that you're glad you heard it, or you're still figuring that out?
Still figuring it out, but I think back to my childhood self, and I think about if I was following myself on TikTok as a young kid, what would I want to hear? Or, you know, so much of my audience is a younger demographic, and I sort of would love to show transness in a way that we haven't seen it before, because I figured when I came out that I might have to go into hiding and then do all my surgeries privately and change my name. And I instead decided, hey, let me see if the world is willing to accept me this way from day one, and they did.
You actually have some really supportive, interesting followers. I'm just going to kick it off with Lady Gaga.
Oh my gosh, I love her. I mean, I had the Born This Way ball poster on my wall, and now, you know, every video there's a little something from her, and I can't wait to meet her. That's the best part. I will say there's so much hatred and drama, and you know, just things get convoluted, but getting to meet, you know, my role models, even you today, is it's the best part, not gonna lie.
Let me ask you about the negativity. How have you dealt with it? And what's an approach you take? What's your self-talk? What do you filter?
Yes.
How do you...
I still read the comments, but there is so much hatred directed at the trans community right now. It's everywhere. And I think the greatest weapon that I can contribute is trans joy and comedy and talking about hard, you know, subjects and really intricate moments of a transition, and try to let everybody in to see that, you know, I'm not a monster. I'm not somebody that, you know, is trying to do anything but be myself and be happy. Love ya.
Thank you, everybody, for that support. How do you stay on your own path? Where do you draw boundaries? Where do you find the strength to keep being the joy?
Well, I think having my chosen family and the people that I love to take care of me. But I also think there's something just about making sure that you don't put something out there before you're ready, and really just surrounding yourself with good people. It's interesting because I look at someone like you and I can't imagine anybody disliking you.
Oh, please. Do you want to know, ironically, who dislikes me the most sometimes?
Who?
Myself.
Oh, me too. Oh.
No, wait, I'm okay. Does anybody else think it's really fucking weird? The whole fucking thing. Does anybody think that it's just all... It has to be fucking insanity. It's gotta be. I don't... How the fuck else do you explain what the fuck we just watched right there? When I first started that channel, this was way back in the fucking day. Way back in the fucking day. The reason I started a channel is because I had an inkling that America was going to hell in a handbasket. I've been online now for what, going on almost 4 years? 4.5 years? Been doing this shit right here. Been telling the people, put wood stoves in your house while you still can, before the fucking EPA decides to make those illegal, like gas stoves. Been telling people to put food up. Been telling people to think about trading stock when you're buying stuff. And then I strayed away from it because nobody fucking cared. I had a core group of people, Grot being one of them, that really paid attention. Now, Grot was already on his path of preparedness, so there wasn't a huge swing for him. But you just can't get people to pay the fuck attention. The more you let piece of shits like that and the rest of what we call society control your life, the closer to slavery you are. What are you going to do when the fucking... We were actually talking about it today over on Raids. What are you going to do when everything goes with a digital dollar? What are you going to do when the federal government actually controls exactly what kind of money you get or don't get at any given time? What you can spend your money on. Your hard-earned money. Which, really, It's a fucking promissory note for gold, but, well, it used to be. Now you get a cup of oil or some fucking stupid thing. But what are you going to do when they tell you how you can and cannot spend your money? Because it's going that direction. And it won't take fucking 2 years to get it done. And if you think that somebody's going to wander into office in 2025 and be able to fix all this bullshit, you're as fucking saturated as the rest of the world. At the most, you'll have a feel-good fucking couple of years. You'll still have the same fucking problems in the world. Because for some unknown reason, safety and security has always been more important to the modern American than freedom. Death by 1,000 cuts. You're not going to get back your freedom by putting someone in office. You're not going to get back your freedom by going to the voting booth. You get back your freedom by getting to a point in your life where what outside influences try to do to you don't fucking matter. If they shut your gas off, you start your fucking wood stove. If they cut your food away from you because you're a useless eater, and they digitally control your ability to buy food at the grocery store, then learn how to grow a fucking garden and put the shit in the pantry like I've told you to do for 4 fucking years. Take your freedom back by eliminating their ability to control you. Then, and only then, do you have the power to actually make change at that shitty fucking location that we stuck over on the fucking eastern seaboard and decided to call it Mother Government. Please, federal government, take care of me. Make sure I'm safe and secure. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else that the forefounders fucking wrote in the Constitution to make sure you couldn't lose. You gave it up anyway. Because you wanted to feel safe. And you wanted to feel secure. Well, how's that working out for you now? Do you feel like either one of those right now? Do you feel safe in this country? Do you feel secure? I know I don't. But I have no problem creating my own safety and my own security. And if I have to, I'll take my rights back, one bloody knuckle at a time. Because generations before me and generations currently That's right, Grot. It's those generations that gave those rights away. And I don't give two shits who was in power when it happened, because it's happened on both fucking sides. So you think going to the voting booth and putting anybody in that fucking office is going to fix this? You are sadly fucking mistaken. Let's just run down the tally, shall we? We'll look at the conservative, quote-unquote, conservative side. "9/11 happened. We all got scared. First large attack, supposedly, on United States soil. Terrorist attack. What did we do? We gave up our right to privacy. And this next one is going to piss a lot of people off on the foxhole. Let's fast forward it a few years. Donald J. Trump. Did probably the best job in my lifetime as a president. But there's one thing that hangs up for me. He was also the only president in my lifetime to put me in a lockdown. To tell me that I couldn't go to church. To tell me that I couldn't go to a sporting event for my kid. To tell me that I need to just stay in my home and wait for the federal government to fix it. And that's a problem for me. Now, I'm not saying that those are the only two presidents that have ever done anything fucking stupid. Don't get me wrong. There's a laundry list of stupidity when you talk about the federal government. But if you want to talk about the bastion of conservatism, you better take the good with the bad. And know that none of them are the Tea Party, I don't give a fuck what party you throw out there. None of them are on your side. None. Stop thinking that some federal fucking dipshit is going to fix your fucking problems. Because it isn't going to happen. They'll make more problems for you. They're really good at that. But they ain't going to fix shit. Because there's too much money involved, and there's too much power involved, and them sleazy motherfuckers don't ever want to give up either one of them. And I don't give a shit what one you're talking about. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm telling you. Take the power away. And the only way you can do that is becoming independent on your own and with a small group of people around you that you can know, trust, and love, whether they're family members or not. Learn the skills you need to learn to become fucking independent. Learn the skills that it took to come west in this fucking nation and make our country bigger. Because you know what? Nobody helped those motherfuckers leave from out east and make it all the way out here to Montana and create a state. And there ain't one motherfucker in this country that could do that again. Not one. Not anymore. I couldn't do it. You tell me what the future holds. Because I can't figure it out. Learn the skills. Look at the things that the government controls and figure out how to do it on your own. Learn how to get a hold of your ranchers that live around you. Because, granted, I get it. You can't grow fucking cattle. All right. Awesome. There's a lot of people that do. And there's a lot of people out there in this world that would have no problem selling you a half a beef or whole beef. They'll even hook you up with their fucking guy that they use for their own slaughter. They will help you out every step of the way. All you have to do is ask and show some fucking respect when you show up there to realize that there's somebody growing your food for you. Plant a fucking garden. It's not that hard. If you don't learn how to grow shit, you ain't gonna eat shit. Learn how to fucking can. We've talked about it over and over again. I'm tired of talking about it. Learn how to put the shit on your own shelf by yourself. So when the off season rolls around and you can't grow anything, you have something to fall back on. Because if you think in your infinite fucking wisdom that if the dollar goes digital, they're not going to use that against you. Well, talk to them motherfuckers that are sitting in jail right now for January 6th that haven't even come close to getting a trial. And tell me your government's not going to fuck you over in one way or another. So either take the power away or get your ass moved to one of them big cities where they can take care of you. Because that's what the future holds. Either take the fucking power away or live as a serf under the king. And the only way you're going to take that power away isn't by putting some other power-hungry son of a bitch in power. It's going to be you saying, I don't need you. Get the fuck out of my town, get off my property, and leave me the fuck alone. I don't need you. I don't need you to have gas running to my house. I don't need you to be able to cook a fucking meal. You know how many people out there don't even know how to cook? Couldn't feed themselves if they tried. Yet I'm supposed to come on here and I'm supposed to feel some sort of warm, fuzzy feeling. I'm not supposed to be so negative. I'm not supposed to be so angry. Do you notice I'm not telling you to take up arms and go after your federal government? Because that won't fucking work. The only way it works to take the power back is to take it away from them. And the only way you can do that is to be able to stand on your own. I'm done. I'm tired. I don't know what the future holds. I am not a soothsayer. I am not a fortune teller. But I know what the future holds if we do nothing. And I know that because I have the past to look back on. And I can see what happens when good people do nothing. I'm going to go now. And I hope that I haven't No, I'm not going to say that. I hope in some ways I have angered you. I hope in some ways I've pissed you off. I'm hoping in some ways I've slapped you across the face and tried to wake you up. Because that's all I have left. Societies fall when good people do nothing.